Good morning. Welcome to Gruber Power Hour. My name is Claude Dixon. I'm the General Manager for Gruber Power Services, and my co-host here will introduce himself.
I'm Lenny Hodges. I'm the Senior Depot Repair Technician for Gruber Power.
Yeah, and Lenny's a good one to have on this show. He's been a huge help to me technically. He's excellent at what he does, and I think once we're done here, the next 3 weeks, we're going to be focusing on module repair. That's his area, depot repair. We have a lot of capability out there. But first, just want to let you guys know where we are, the mediums that we're on. YouTube, obviously, if you're on TikTok, Instagram, and X, which is formerly known as Twitter. We also have a website that you can go to. This website is going to be under construction in a few weeks. Myself and a gentleman by the name of Jesse, who you probably already know, we're going to be working on that together, so that's going to be new and improved. So what we wanted to do in this show is kind of like reboot a little bit and go back into what our capabilities are here at Gruber Power Services and what we sell. So Jesse, if you can put up that line card, we're going to be spending pretty much the entire half an hour on this line card. That's slide 1. Yes. And I apologize for my voice. I was telling Lenny here that last night the stomach bug hit me hard, and basically I spent a lot of time running back and forth, if you know what I mean, and it really took a toll. But the last one occurred at 5 a.m. and I started to feel a little better. And of course I had this podcast. I didn't want to miss that. So that's the reason why my voice is a little high, because I'm still overcoming dehydration. So if you look at this right here, we're going to start with services. I also want to note before we start that effective next week, we're going to change this podcast time to 10:30. When I was on the show before, it used to be an hour. We cut it down by half an hour to just a half an hour's time. So I just want to start it at 10:30. I think we'll be able to get a bit more participation, at least here internally, because at 10 o'clock, most of our people are on break. So it would just be good to move it back. So effective next week, we're going to start at 10:30. So if you look at the right-hand side of this card, this line card, I want to start there with services. So one of the offerings that we have, we call them maintenance agreements, and there's 3 different types of maintenance agreements that we have. We start with Platinum, which is our full-service maintenance agreement, 7x24. All parts are covered with the exception of our capacitors and fan assemblies and batteries. But every other component from the input, from the source all the way to the UPS, we pretty much cover all the essentially equipment. And that's the Platinum one, 7x24, full coverage, holidays, whole 9 yards. The other one is also full service. We call that a gold contract, but that's normal business hours, 5x8, 8-hour response time. Platinum was a 4-hour response time. And then we have the PM only agreement, where it's a contract, but all we're doing is going out and doing a health check on the UPS on a frequency. It could be every quarter or it could be every 6 months, but we're basically going out and doing a health check during normal business hours. We provide the customer with a service report, and of course there's work that typically comes off of that, but it would be billable work. And then the 2 other agreements that we have, we rent UPSs, which is a big one for customers from a budget standpoint. So we have that capability, and we also provide parts only agreements. So if you're just looking for something like that, just want an agreement so you have access to parts for your UPS, we also provide that as well. What I want to do next is drop down to additional services, because I want to bring Lenny in here. If you go all the way down to the bottom bullet, it says module, depot, board level repairs. And I wanted Lenny to kind of review what our capabilities are there.
Well, thanks for having me on. Also, when it comes to depot repair, module repair, 50% of the items or the ups that we're dealing with now are module. So there's individual pieces within inside of a frame or inside of an ups that we're able to refurbish down to board level repair. We get a component level repair on a board, doing solder work, things of that nature. And then we also, if we have to paint, if we have to replace certain parts, connectors, fans, or that's all part of the refurbishment process.
Mm-hmm.
So each module that we get in, each module that we have for inventory, for sale, for frames, or to replace units or replace broken modules in the field or anything for service or for sales, we do a standard refurbishment on all of them. Standard refurb is across the board. There isn't a specific refurbishment for a specific customer. Anything like that, it's a standard refurbishment. That way we have the same quality going in, out the door to our customer, whether it's via contract or via individual sales. They're going to get the same equipment. Doesn't matter how much money you spend or how little money you spend, you're going to get quality. So that's why we do the same component level repair on and we do the same paint, anything that as close to OE as possible.
Yeah, and to Lenny's point, we're going to be in the second session that we have next Friday. We're actually going to bring in a UPS. We're going to have slides on the UPS, and we're going to take you through the entire process of what it means to refurbish a UPS, starting with the frame itself, what we do when it comes in, right on down the line, intelligence module, power module, battery module, static switch, the cards, everything. That's probably going to cover a couple weeks to get through that because, I want to make sure Lenny's thorough, so I'm going to be asking him some questions. But yeah, that's a big part of what we do. So also another thing is depot repairs. So we're not only just refurbishing equipment to resell it, we also have customers sending their equipment to us, whether it be a power module, an intelligence module, whatever it may be. We also perform depot repairs. We actually have one right there. Darren's
yeah, we have 8 power modules in from another company that they need repaired.
Right.
Like with everything, try our best to our ability to repair something. Some things aren't repairable, but we at least give that opportunity to the customer, saying, "Hey, this is what we can do. This is what we're up front with, and this is what product." No matter if, like you said, if it's a customer, a contractor, or anything.
Right.
We give it to our best.
Yeah. And the other piece, too, just to add to the whole refurbishment thing, when the UPS gets to the point of being finished, obviously there's a test that Lenny takes that unit through. That unit is load banked at different levels. There's a power quality analysis that's done on that unit. We also sell both of those services, too. So if you ever need one of those done out in the field, we have the capability to do a power quality analysis in the field, and this is nationwide, just not here in Arizona. And the same thing with the other service that I mentioned, the load banking. So let me go back up here to under additional services, battery replacements and monitoring. That's another thing that we're very good at. We do a lot of battery replacements on various types of UPSs. Another thing I want to add to is we're a multi-vendor company. That means if you purchase a service contract from us and you have 5 or 6 different brands of UPSs, which we run into a lot at your site, we're able to put all those under the same contract. You're not having to deal with 5 different vendors. We manage all of that through one contract. Our guys are really good. I think a lot, this comes up a lot. It's, you think of the OEM and you think of what we do in terms of being a multi-vendor. I have found in my experience, and I've been around about 16 years, I have found that the field engineers that are working on various types of equipment just seem to me to be more savvy than, and that's not knocking the OEM technician, because on their own equipment, they're great, they're wonderful, but it's the same cookie cutter equipment that they're working on. So, they're going to be good at that when you do the same thing over and over and over again. But on our end, we're constantly working through different problems because of the number of brands that we deal with. The last time I looked, we deal with about 25 different brands of UPSs, and we service about 66 different models. So imagine that, from the ones that you plug into the wall to megawatt systems. We have all of those kVA ranges and sizes under contract. So I think that's awesome. The other thing too is monitoring. We're capable of battery monitoring, and we have a couple partners that we deal with there that are able to assist and help us. and we can sell that into the contract as well. Installation and de-installation services, that's the electrical side of what we do. You roll back the clock, maybe 10 years ago, we were only capable of doing this in Arizona in terms of installing a UPS, de-installing a UPS, and all the other equipment that goes around it. We were really only capable here in Arizona because we had our own electrical division. Now, though, we've expanded to being nationwide, and we've been able to bring in some really, really big projects that takes it, we call it turnkey, where you're able to just sell the entire solution. You have one project manager versing with, again, 3 or 4 different vendors in terms of coordination. And we've had some pretty big projects, and we pull them off pretty well. So we have that capability as well.
And I'd like to add something to that. I know
Sure.
some of our manufacturers for the ups, when you purchase a new unit from them for install or something, they'll actually provide, per the contract, they'll actually provide an OEM for the installation as part of the contract. They'll actually have to come out to help install. So if there's, so that actually increases our chances or minimizes the risk of something not working. Also with certain,
Yeah.
so that we have that in our back pocket also.
Yeah, good point. UPS sizing, design, and efficiency. Again, that's the project manager. We offer those services. We do site surveys. We do FE site visits, and most of the time on the FE site visit side, that's no cost to the customer. You call us and say, hey, you know what? We need for you to come out and look at our UPS, give us some ideas or solutions to either maybe upgrade it or replace it or even downsize it, because what we're finding too is footprint is everything. The industry is like completely shifted away from these big box UPSs, and customers are now talking about footprint. How can I get the same power, cleaner power, but in a smaller space? So we spend a lot of time. So we offer that service in terms of site survey. The other thing I want to mention that's a big one for us is our 1-800 service, our technical assistance line. This guy right here is one of the individuals that handles that particular line for us, especially when we have problems with modular units. But where it benefits you is that you can call anytime, 24/7, any day of the week, and you're going to get someone on the line. There's no cost to it if you have an issue or a problem or have a question about your UPS. So that's a big one. We get calls every single day. A lot of these calls are exactly on the equipment that's coming out of our depot. Lenny has handled many of those calls. What do you typically, in the calls that you have handled, what's typically come out of those in terms of subject?
As far as what the
Repairs
are, most of the time it's I'd say about 80% of the time it's a battery issue that comes out of me, because what I've noticed in the experience I have with the equipment is batteries can make, if you have batteries that are bad, they can mimic faults for other parts or other modules within. So you just gotta basically be methodical in the troubleshooting and just go step by step. If you got a certain problem, okay, what ties into that problem? Another specific problem, okay, what ties into that? But the common thing with all of that is batteries. And so if a battery is going bad, it can make other equipment look bad, even if equipment's good. It's a battery. That's the common thing I see with most of our units, is that there are certain things that tie into certain things that don't tie into others, but the batteries tie into everything. So that's the common thing I see. Like if somebody says an Intel module is bad, well, the Intel module can be bad, don't get me wrong, but if there's actually no faults to it, what's common to that, and if that's all good, that's when you start looking at the battery.
Yeah.
Because even inside of a battery module, if you have just one single battery inside of a module, it can cause that module to fail, which causes, and it's just like that. But I'd say most of my time that it is equipment, but then batteries is a common problem.
Are you able to resolve most of it over the phone?
Yes. Yes. Talking to the account managers, talking with the customer, talking with our service coordinators, and everything. So we send out, the account managers or service will determine what out based on the technical feedback from us.
Yeah. And, that's another thing too, is just technical information when you call in. It doesn't necessarily have to be a service call. It could be a tech tip that you might be in need of. And that's another area where we're really good is, especially on the modular side of what we do, is all of those calls that we're referencing, we track those calls. We also track the assignable cause and the fix. And many times those fixes are turned into technical tips that we send out to our field engineers. So when they experience the same problem on the site, they're able to resolve the unit. Okay, I'm Rusty. We got a lot of questions. We have some questions coming in, not a lot. Okay, so Old Reliable, YouTube, Grant Mobell. Welcome back, Claude. Good to see you. You and Lenny back doing the Gruber Power Podcast. Just a couple things regarding Grant. Grant's going to be joining our team on the sell side April 2nd. He's coming on Q2, and he's going to be based in Sacramento. There's another gentleman that we'll be bringing on by the name of Jason, and he's going to be based in Sacramento. And then one of our account managers that currently works here in Phoenix is going to be relocating to Corona, California, which is in SoCal. So this will be the first time that our company has actually had a project manager, account manager presence in the state of California, which I think is going to be big. We've had field engineers, our own field engineers out there. They've been planted. We use mostly subs, contractors out there, but it's just going to be good to have boots on the ground on the sell side. Why don't you take the next one there, Lenny?
From HUNTEM 1983, what are the advantages of the service contracts? Are there any catches or underlined verbiage that the contracts do not cover?
Yeah, can you scroll that up a little bit? I can't see. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah. How expensive are your units? Are your units compared to others or compared to brand new equipment? There's about a 40% reduction compared to new. To answer that question. The other thing too is you're not necessarily getting a brand new unit that's coming out of a box, but you're getting a newer unit. So we're talking 4 or 5 years old. So if you're comparing that newer unit to a old unit that you're pulling out, just the efficiency gain alone is going to sell that unit to you from an ROI standpoint. That's another thing that we do with the customers. We run that energy calculator, and it's going to pay for itself right there just in the reduction of energy consumption and also the improvement in power quality, which is a big one. HUNTEM 1983 on YouTube. Now, none of this sounds vanilla. It checks out. I like it. Ooh, okay. That's an interesting comment right there. Anybody know who HUNTEM 1983 is? Okay.
Yeah, not sure.
Okay.
But what are CCTV systems?
You want to hit that one?
That's closed circuit TV. That's like your security systems.
So you're getting a question there, can they?
Yeah,
work?
can they work on CCTV systems? I'm willing to take on any challenge, I guess. We don't normally work on CCTV systems, but, like I said, I like a good challenge. We could always look into it, reach out to...
Got circuit boards.
Yeah, I mean, you can always reach out to GPS or go to our website, reach out to our, our 1-800 number for sales and everything, and contact, get in touch with the account manager, and we can try to work something out.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not opposed to that. If it has circuit boards, I'm sure we can bring it in and troubleshoot it, figure out what's wrong with it. The other thing that we do here that's a service that we offer is demolition and scrapping. And we typically do this with the older units. And when I say old, I'm talking 20, 25, 30-year-old units that are coming in here that we're replacing. We bring them in here, we break them down, and some of the parts we keep, some of the parts we resell. But if you're leaving your building or your business, or you've gone out of business, I hate to say that, but there's companies going out of business, and you need, I guess, an avenue to, get rid of your equipment. We're that avenue. We have a scrapping operation where we'll take that UPS in, basically demolish it, scrap it for parts. How do you get a job at your company? Lenny, how did you get a job here?
I went through LinkedIn.
You went through LinkedIn?
Mm-hmm. I actually started in sales for 4 days, and then I got interviewed by you to do depot repair or module repair.
I interviewed you.
For after my first 4 days in comm sales.
Okay.
I hired on to sales, and then you guys figured out my background, and then I started working doing module repair after that.
Okay.
So, but I went through LinkedIn.
Yeah. How do you get a job here? I'm old school. You can simply call, send your resume in, find out who is who here. If you're on the technical side of things, if you're looking for a job here in Gruber Power Services, I'll gladly provide my email address. Get on the website. There's a section on there on how you can, submit your resume and get an interview, or at least see if you get a call. But yeah, we're open to that. Always looking for good people. All right. Another service that we offer is infrared thermography. Okay, we just got another one that came in. Tech Tight Control. Yes, we do equipment buybacks. We do that. We get those opportunities a lot. We'll get an email, hey, guess what? These 3 UPSs are available. And yes, we're all over that because we're in the reselling business too. So we're always looking for opportunities to get UPS running. Hopefully they're running UPSs in here. Of course, we just don't assume that. They go through our depot, they go through the paces, and we resell them. So yes, we do that. Infrared thermography testing is another recent service that we offer. We have digital cameras that we use. We go out and there's a scope of work. Can you look at this breaker box, or can you look at the entire system from the source all the way to the devices? If you want that, we'll go in and do a thermal scan on all your major components. The circuit breakers, the internal components of the UPS, the battery system, the connections, the whole 9 yards. And every time we've done this, that UPS can be online protecting the critical load. But almost every time we've went out and done this at a customer site, we have detected a problem that could occur in the future, like an IGBT that's too hot. There's 3 of them in a 3-phase system, 3 sets, and one's showing really, really hot in terms of temperature. The other ones are at normal. Yeah, you haven't experienced, an event yet, but that event is surely on the way. So we've been able to be proactive with that. Of course, there's a cost to it, but just think about the cost of your unit going down, and you're losing, dollars because you're waiting on that unit either to be replaced or repaired. So it's just a great tool to use from a proactive standpoint. What else do we have here, Lenny? We've got UPS startups and shutdowns. We do one-offs. So we've had customers call us, hey, can you just come and shut our UPS down? We offer that. Or can you start one up? We're actually doing a UPS startup this Saturday. One of Elvis's customers, a G9000, I think it's a 160 kVA unit. We've been contracted to go start that UPS up. Of course, there's a lot more to it than just going in and flipping a switch. There's an electrician involved. There's a startup checklist involved. There's communication that takes place before any switch is flipped. So yes, we provide that service as well. Another question. What makes Gruber, this is from HUNTEM too, what makes Gruber stand out? What sets your group apart? You want to take a stab at that, Lenny? Just from your perspective, what do you think makes us stand out?
I think our customer service and our quality of products. I think the quality of our products that we put out, and then our customers, we have repeat customers. And when you're having repeat customers over and over, and you're cultivating that, from the ground up, or, from the root up, for the last 40 years. I mean, we've been in business for 40 years, so obviously we're doing something right. But I think because of our customer relationships, and I think of the quality of our product that goes out the door, and level of service that we provide. I mean, even our account managers are willing to go out in the field and actually help hands-on with our customers, not just relying on the field techs, not relying on our repair service here at Gruber. But even our account managers are willing to go out to help do site surveys, to help with equipment, to do battery replacements.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot with a lot of your bigger corporations. We're more of a mom and pop type place, because we're more small, more condensed, but we have a bigger footprint. by providing that level of service and cultivating those relationships from the roots up. I think that's what sets it apart.
Yeah. And, two of Lenny's points I want to hit on. He talked about the footprint. Our footprint is nationwide. And, we're considered a small company. If you look at our revenues, we are a small company.
We've actually sold on top of that, we've actually sold batteries outside of the U.S. also.
We have, and we've actually sold UPSs outside of the UPS to Africa, believe it or not. So the Congo, Africa. So that's one thing right there is just our footprint. It's a nationwide footprint. We're able to get places. And there's two other things, is our speed sets us apart. Our ability to jump on an issue immediately and address it, okay? Where with other places, and I'm not going to name any names, there's a delay, where we're like pretty much Johnny on the spot. And then last to me, and most important, is what makes us stand out as a company is our people, okay? We have some phenomenal experienced people that work here that I truly appreciate. In all phases of what we do, but one phase I want to definitely point out is our account managers. We have some account managers that have been here. One's been here for 31 years. Liz Hockemeyer, she is phenomenal at her job. I've learned so much from her. Another one is Darren Crine, been here 21 years. They're just great. Justin Brown, I could just go on and on and on about the quality of our people. And that's something that we've had to work on. I can't say it's always been like that, just to be straightforward and honest. But over the years, over time, we've met. This guy's sitting right next to me. I mean, how long you been here?
April will be 4 years.
4 years. Lenny walked through the door. I heard what his background was. Of course, he was working in a different division at the time, the comm division. And they came over me, gave me his resume. I said, absolutely. And this guy, the one thing we didn't mention, 26 years, correct? 26 years in the Air Force. So I already knew what I was getting. I'm a military brat myself. My dad, 28 years and 6 in the Army. So I knew what I was getting. And this guy's done nothing but make the place better, which is what we would expect our employees to be able to do. Okay, Tech Titan Troll. What if my budget won't allow me to purchase a site survey? What does your group offer? If your budget doesn't allow that, we will still come out because you are the customer. We do offer no cost site visits to you. Obviously, it's costing us money if we're sending resources out, but we do provide that service. We're not going to leave you hanging just because we can't do a site survey. We'll still assist you either way. Okay, I think that does it for the questions. All right, anything else that you want to mention or say?
No, not at this time. I think starting next week when we start getting into actually what we depot as far as customer repairs, what type of level of sales we go through when it comes to refurbishing our equipment, repairing. Gotta give a behind the scenes to set the quality of our.
Yeah.
Matter, like I said, if you're on contract, non-contract, everybody gets.
And just real quick before we get off, the training that you're doing, can you? Because that's an offering that we weren't doing that we're doing now.
Yeah, that's also something we started about 6 weeks ago. That we're actually in-house. We're not only do we train our field engineers on our equipment, but we're actually training our account managers on our equipment, so they can actually assist the customer more, be more educated on the service that they're providing and the equipment that we're providing. That way, they're not having to always get back to someone. By going through the training, they're able to answer questions a bit more efficiently or in a timely manner.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're getting hands-on, they're not just getting an overgloss of this is what we do. We're actually having them do the physical work too, so they can understand, a little bit more of our side of the house. We understand a little bit their side of the house on sales and the support they're providing also.
And the other thing, just to note on this, we're taking this outside. So not only is it an internal training to our employees, we're going to begin to offer the same type of training to our customers. Okay, if they want to come in and train on their specific unit, we're set up to be able to allow them to come in and do that. So we're looking forward to putting that into practice and into place too. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up again where you can find us. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. You can, of course, go to our website and learn more about us there. But until then, we will see you next Friday. Remember, it's a 10:30 a.m. start time. Thank you very much.